I'm gonna. Hello, guys. God. I'm watching that one idiot, Nick Shirley's mom, which is such a little bitch. Saying, oh my god, every flag looks like Somalia. Brother, Somalia's flag is blue with a white star. Do you know how many? Yo, guys! America is copying my flag. They're using the color red. You're not allowed to use the color red because I used it for my symbol. Like, brother, blue with a white star? Christ almighty! That's a very simple color. Like, if it was like the American flag, that's one thing, right? Because it's a little bit more complex. But the Somali flag is so simple. Again, watch this. I could literally make it right now in like literally no time. Boom! It's that simple. Literally, I mean, yeah, it looks like shit. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying my interpretation of it looks like shit. The flag itself isn't. It's literally blue with a white star. It's not. Come on. Do you know how many flags of U.S. states have blue and white stars in them? America. God, America. America. Oh my God. America has a blue. America's flag has a blue section with white stars. Oh my God, you dumbasses. Stupid racist people. They don't know shit about human history or geography or science. They don't have that much kicking around up in the old noggin now, don't they? Yeah, all of his supporters are stupid. They make me feel smarter, because I'm way smarter than them. They're not smart at all. None of them are. Yeah, so, yeah, I saw someone comparing the Somali flag. Then the Minnesota flag it's got dark blue indentation like this with an 8-pointed star. Jesus Christ, not even the same type of star. The Minnesota flag is an 8-pointed star, not a 5-pointed star. Jesus Christ. Do the people know their shapes? The people criticizing this do not know their shapes. I mean, they're not really smart to begin with. They have no science literacy, they have no, media literacy, they don't read. Yeah, complete dumb, hello viewer, completely stupid all around, just saying.
Zeigarnik effect. Yo. We're finally decorating the refinery. I can get you the exact temperature because I have a weather station. Ready for chat? 16 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 2. A couple days ago, it was negative 7.8. Felt like negative 20. I.e., freeze your balls off. Even for Illinois, again, by the way, fun fact about Illinois, in 2024, where I live, I recorded a temperature difference of 103.3 degrees Fahrenheit between the coldest points of the year and the hottest. The coldest being negative 8.9, and the hottest being roughly, actually I can get the history, year of 2026. Coldest, or no, it was 2025. The coldest, negative 8.9. Hottest, 94.3. We have 103 degrees of a difference between the coldest and hottest points of the year in Illinois, in central Illinois. Illinois has been interesting. Our weather can be very, very harsh. Very, very brutally cold and hot. Which, I noted this when I want to design like a tower for my weather tower, and the battery systems are going to be tough to design. I need to design, if I have to design batteries, either I have to get lead acid batteries that don't last long, or I have to go for lithium iron phosphate, but I'll have to heat them up to charge them, because you can't charge lithium iron phosphate batteries in freezing. They can discharge in freezing, I'm pretty sure, but they cannot discharge in freezing because it damages them, and we need more materials.
We need to build... I need to rebuild the human gun. Utilizing this gun to launch people across the universe, I believe this would be a great way to dispose of the politician. Oh god.
Fix-It does not waste, and all consumable products have been designed with this core value in mind. All consumables have an infinite shelf life and achieve their full purpose when used. They can't be wasted.
Is that something I should... Ooh. Oh, I only get 5 of them? Hold on, let me just... Oh, yeah. There we go. I never actually used one of these before. Hold on, gotta get that... Hold on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, give me that good shit. I love... Give me my Febreze inhaler. I should go get some plates. I'm about to say, I was thinking about putting a branch here, but I actually might not. This tower actually itself may not, maybe demolished. I might put like a spire, and fuse the units into one huge room. No. I'm probably gonna go attempt to go get some more coins today. Then I can zip over to Lincoln.
I'm trying to make my architecture look a lot more nicer. I like the beams, how it comes in from this side, but it leaves the other. Again, so if you don't know what this is, this giant block of machinery here is what's called the trickle-down refinement system. Or it's one of two trickle-down refinement system towers on site. This turns water and oil, mixes it together, and makes it into plastic, rubber, and most importantly, fuel, which you can see spurting out there. Well, it comes out to the bottom, goes into the regulator, it comes out the top, and then goes back up. What's up? Nice PFP. Watch this, guys. So if you do this, you can actually take this and take the small pillar support, and if you flip it, it perfectly meshes with this. My system is done. I'm just trying to decorate it. I'm trying to play with new architecture styles because I'm like, dude, I saw someone else. I'm like, wow, I gotta up my game. AC water pumps, 20 coal generators. I have 3 minor, maybe 4 in the future, because one of the main veins is to rock over, and I'm sorry. That's not your fault. My chat's really weird. So where is your plant located at, my dude? Mine's this is called, it's called Long Beach Refinery Generating Station. It's gonna be renamed the Gold Coast. The plains. It is a canyon. A big canyon with a large body of water. Good choice. Hey, I'm going to tell you a little secret. If you move over here, if you go right here, there are 3 pure coal nodes right here. There's also another pure coal node. So if you could actually take your time and if you really want to max out on your coal, I'd recommend you build here. However, building here is not a terrible idea. In fact, I believe you could probably even, you know what you could do if you're a little bit of a risk taker? It is a risk. You could maybe take water, pump it from down here if you need any more, or take water from here and actually pump it down to get rid of head lift requirement. Build your coal plants up over here and take extra coal from right over here and pipe it over here. Or I'm wondering how you're going to get it across. There's actually a cave that connects from here to here to here. It connects through here. So you could run this coal down this little slope, run it through the cave, through this canyon, and it's right there. So this valley right here, this like little arch, has a huge amount of coal potential. We're talking 4 pure nodes, 5 normal nodes, and an impure. Another little secret spot I know is right here with 3 pure nodes and a normal node. However, in my opinion, I'm not a big pro at this game, but I know a good amount. I honestly would not recommend coal, if building a coal plant beyond like 4 or 5 gigawatts. Honestly, I'm using those trampoline things because I don't have hypertubes yet. I will definitely, I would definitely attempt for you to move on to fuel generators, because this facility can actually generate 50 gigawatts, but it'll send 43 gigawatts to my grid. I've been working on it for months. But yeah, coal, you will have to start on coal. So yeah, this is my generating facility over here. It's called Crater Lakes Generating Facility, and it generates 4 gigawatts. And if you don't know what a gigawatt is, it is 1,000 megawatts. Lots and lots of watts and watts. That's essentially what it is. It's lots and lots of watts and watts. How do I get liquid fuel? Well, to get liquid fuel, I think you need to unlock fuel-based generators, which I don't know if you have the tier yet. You're gonna have to progress to phase 2. Fuel generators. Well, I'd actually recommend you don't build a giant coal plant. Trust me. Get the ability to unlock fuel generators and start going into it. And here's why: fuel generators, coal generators. Well, sorry if I talk fast. Coal generators will not last you a long time. Once you unlock fuel generators, your coal generation plant is going to become completely obsolete. So I wouldn't make it huge. But however, fuel generators, to my knowledge, can actually last you far past the end of the game. By the way, if this facility generates rocket fuel, I will turn 2,700 oil into up to 200 gigawatts. This coal plant one day will most likely generate 50 times the power than Crater Lake's generating facility ever will. In fact, Crater Lake's generating facility, it might be turned into a battery station when I'm done with it. But to get liquid fuel, you'll definitely need to progress to phase 2. And by the way, liquid fuel, I have good foundations on it, so I can just swap to it. Yeah, you can either get rid of your coal plant and turn it to a battery plant, or you can make a fuel plant. But be aware, I'm just going to tell you, 5 by 5 foundations can fit 4 fuel plants. So these foundations, if you have a 5 by 5 square, you can fit 4 of them on it. They're really big, and they're square. That over there is 200 of them. That, again, that will produce up to 200 gigawatts in its lifetime. It can only produce 50, but I can definitely overclock. However, I do recommend you build at least maybe like I will say, don't stop building your coal plant, because here's the thing: you're going to need it in order to start up a facility this size. Either that, or you're going to need to charge batteries and do a startup from battery. I can fit that many. Oh yeah. So again, every single one of them is 2.5 by 2.5 foundations wide, and they're about 3-4 foundations tall, I believe. But the soonest you can get to, actually, I don't really want to rain on your parade. If you're building a fuel plant here, I don't recommend you do it. I really do not recommend you do it. I recommend you build a fuel plant either here, I think what I've heard is right here, or right over here. And here's why. That little place is a nice building spot, but when you make pipeline... by the way, you could just... Oh, thank you. Right here, the facility I have, it processes all the oil on site. Like the oil that is used in this facility is going to be used and processed right here. Because I heard that if you stretch pipelines, it gets a little bit annoying. You can go for it. It might function better if you work them over here. However, again, if you feel like taking the risk, definitely feel free to. In my opinion, if you do it, do not decorate your plant. I would just make sure it works. Like, for example, right now I built this. It now works. It now works, but it's just toggled off right now. But I'm decorating it now. But yeah, I definitely recommend fuel power. Fuel power, like once I saw fuel power, I'm like, no more coal. I was gonna build a bigger coal plant, but I canceled the plans after I found out how good fuel was. Yeah, I've heard fuel can literally carry you to the end game if you process it into rocket fuel. Like, for example, right now, my current plant is going to be burning turbo fuel. And why is that good? Because turbo fuel is 2,000 megawatts per unit. Per cubic meter, it is 2,000 megajoules. But for normal fuel, it's only 750. So by simply processing into turbo... Or instead of water, he used package thingy. You could do that. You could do that. The only problem with it is that you will be losing some of your energy. If you want to keep it, you can build it on site. But if you feel that you need to use a packager, that's a good idea. And remember, it's Satisfactory. It's your factory. You do what seems you fit. You may see it. You may say, I don't care. I'll spend extra energy to get it here, and that's totally fine. And that's what the cool thing about this game is. Why what? I'm sorry. I don't know why what. I'm sorry. I have heard that because again, you have to remember, you have to put energy into packing it, and you have to put energy into... Well, I asked, he said it's for style and science points. I mean, it looks fun watching canisters go from one point to another. The only problem is, again, for example, if I have 1,800 cubic meters of water and I send it from one place to another, like let's say every 60 cubic meters of water I have to transfer. Actually, let's put packager down. For every 30 cubic meters of oil you have to transport, you have to spend 20 megawatts, which means 20... what phase are you in? I'm in phase 2, and I'm trying to get to phase 3. I haven't done that much work going to phase 3 currently, and that's because I just really, I want to get this power plant done, and I don't want to progress phases until I have the materials until I have the machines to make all of the things. I can easily start my work now. It's just I don't want to go into phase 3 without the ability to make computers and chips. I feel like I'm gonna suffer. And I need to power my big factory, which is going to definitely expand in the future. So, how do you build... I don't know. I truly don't know. Just look at... I don't like to, 100% copy other people's builds, but I, look and how can I do something? Like, for example, I take a pillar. I'm like, okay, it's a nice pillar. What could I do to it? You know what'd be cool? What if I built, a support beam? I'll tell you another cool tip. Watch this. I figured out, and I figured this one out on my own. If you can actually, clip these steel frame pillars, and you can make it look like your concrete pillar is reinforced. So, yeah, if you build your little concrete pillar up like this, it looks like your concrete pillar is reinforced with steel. I also am like, okay, we could build a foundational part, to give it a little bit some more structure. So you do that, and you clip it into the ground, and you put your wall here, And now you got, and then you have, like, it looks like a little, it's on, like, a plate. Thanks. Another thing I did, so for example, you could take your square window, and you could put wedges in between them. Now, you might get, like, a little bit of, you might get, like, a little, like, lip like that. I try to stream every day. I do coins in video games. But, I feel like it just looks good because there's just so much going on when the architecture itself is very, very simple. Another thing I learned, and this was not me. This was not me. So someone else learned this. I didn't. Is that I found out how to make really beautiful roads. And you might be saying, oh man, I'm never going to build great. Because look, people build these good roads. It's actually not hard. Watch this. So you do here. Like, watch, you square it up, and you go, doop, like that. And it starts, and I don't know why it does it automatically, but, like, starts to curve like this. And like this. Like this. Like that. And you got this curve, right? And apparently what they'll do is they'll just take this, snap it into the middle. They'll go 1, 2, 3, like this. They'll go 1, 2, 3, like this. 1, 2, 3. Snap it to the middle. 1, 2, 3. Snap it to the middle. 1, 2, 3. Snap it to the middle. 1, 2, 3. And it makes a very nice curve. Oh, I did something wrong there. Oh yeah, I see. It's because it didn't rotate, but you kind of get the point. And it looks bad, so you have to kind of just, you know, paint it as asphalt. Like this. It didn't work 100% because this part didn't rotate, but you get the point. You just rotate these platforms, and it just makes a really nicely round road. So that's how people apparently, like, make, they make, what do you call it? Really good roads. It's very smart if whoever found that out. Another thing I can definitely recommend you do is use beams. Because watch this. I could take a beam. And I could take a beam like this. And I could stretch that bad boy there. So when you take these beams, you put them into freeform. You can actually make almost any angle you want. So anyway, after you do that, you can literally just go boom, like if you really want to do a random support beam, look at that. Isn't that nice? It was that easy to make a beam like that. That easy. And if you really want to, you can always just go here and delete your little guide beam, and there you go. So that way when you open it up, there's no beam going in between. It's really cool. If you unlock beams, you're going to unlock so much architectural potential. Waiting. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry if your chat doesn't complete. Can you do it again? So, you take your beam, and you're going to click it into what's called freeform. So you have default, go straight, up, down, left, right. You got your diagonal, so it will snap. Like, it'll snap on the XY axis like this, but on those axes, you can go like this, or like you can, like, imagine two circles, like this, like this. That's where the beams can go. So you can notice that it's only going to track on one line. But if I try to go here, it's going to track on that same line again. Or you go freeform. And freeform lets you go anywhere. So, for example, let's say I wanted to connect right here, and I want to connect right there. Boom. It does a freeze point. And after you do that, you take your pillar, and what they do is they snap onto here. Now, if you don't like where it's pointed, you can always, lock hologram. Lock hologram. So what happens, like, if you move around, you're gonna move your hologram around. But if you move like this and you lock it, you can actually do what's called nudging. So if I just tap, and sometimes it might be weird. Like, sometimes it'll try to go like this. But if you don't like this, oh yeah, like for example, if you hold one button, like if you're on PlayStation, you hold R. If you're on PlayStation and you have R1, you can actually engage vertical nudging. So you can actually nudge this. So if, like, for example, if I wanted to take two beams and I wanted to join them together. Now this is not going to be this may not look as pretty because it's at really, really weird angles. Oh, you're on PlayStation 5. That's amazing. Same here. So if I could take this, and if you have a beam that's lined up with each other, I recommend going for diagonal if you can. If you can't go from top to this beam, I'd always go from here to there. And then you could take this beam, and you can start nudging it. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but what, it overshoots, what do I do now? My recommend, and by the way, after you get this done, you can delete your beam. If you need to nudge this, go, like, for example, oh, I need to move it upwards. I go right here, nudge upwards. And I delete this, or I can nudge and fuse them. So I have this, so what do I do now? So you take your thing, you go over here. And yeah, I half nudge it, and sometimes you're not always going to make it really nice. Thank you, you're welcome. And after that, you nudge this one down into what you think is best. Again, you make it these little pockets, it's fine. And that's how you make like a nice little arch. Another thing I like to do is sometimes, like, you could even do this. You can make it stick out. Like this. And then you could take a beam and place it on the side at default, and you can make it hang over, and you can fuse the beam as if it was like some sort of extra support strut. I actually did this for my monitoring station. You can see I actually purposely hung over the things on the edge, and I actually allowed the pillars, and by the way, this isn't halfway fused, it's fused 3/4 of the way in. So you can actually see there's more of it inside this beam than outside. So it actually supports right here. But I'm telling you, like, beams are the best. Beams are simply, like, one of the best things you can work with. You can make some of the best things ever. Like, beams unlock so much building potential. What do those cartons have? The yellow ones. Those are fuel cartons. And they contain fuel. And I actually give you a second to walk you through how the system works. Give me a second. So this, by the way, I'm going to tell you this. Before you make a fuel plant, unlock dilute fuel. Now, apparently in this game, there's a thing called a blender. And it's late game. But here's the thing. In this game, I'm going to tell you this. Save yourself some time. Don't use this. I'm going to actually... I'm actually going to... give me a second before I show you. I'm going to tell you something that will actually save you time. I'm going to show you how you can literally almost double your fuel. So, before you ever get into fuel, you're going to get this recipe. You turn 6 HOR into 4 fuel. But, actually, oh my gosh. No, this does double your fuel. Thank you. So, this right here, no. Chuck it. Get rid of it. Do not use this. This is junk. Because instead of turning 6 HOR into 4 fuel, you can do this and turn 1 HOR into 2. Now here's how I compare, right? For example, let's say I put 6 HOR into here. I see the ratio, it's a 1 to 2. So I get 12 fuel instead of 4. Actually, I'm wrong. It doesn't double your fuel. It triples it. You get triple the amount of fuel from here. Now, you have to package your water, and it's junk. But I'll show you how this works. Around this facility, there are what's called oil extractors. Now, in my opinion, the best thing you could do, overclock these. Overclock these. It doesn't matter, oh, if you use extra energy, just do it. Overclock all the oil extractors, because use a sloop and get even more. Yes. You can actually sextuple your fuel. But here's the thing. You can actually take Mark II pipes get the most flow rate, which is 600 cubic meters a minute, and you get those way sooner than you get the Mark VI belts. I haven't even seen Mark Vs, let alone Mark VI belts in my playthrough. So I overclock these, and the oil is going to slip right here. And if you actually don't see where the oil's going through. There's actually this little pocket of stuff here. So the oil actually travels here, and there's another oil extractor over there. And then it goes through here. It's also extracted over here. There's 4 of them. All the oil in the facility... Oh, shoot. That oil, this is actually... That's all the oil right here. Every little bit of oil that flows through this facility goes through here. This is the throughput monitoring station. It regulates and monitors throughput of everything. So the oil goes up this pipe, and this is where we can turn it off if we really wanted to. So it goes up this pipe, down, and you've actually definitely seen it over here. So it goes over here, snakes to the left, goes and takes a hard right, and comes through, and it comes out these pipes. Now, this fused with, it looked really weird fusing with this pillar, so I actually added these little supports to make them look nicer. And give me a second, and then it'll take me a while to get up here. The oil then flows up through these pipes into what's called a trickle-down refinement system. Now, if you've ever seen a water tower, what they do is they pump the water up, and then the gravity that pushes the water back down will actually create pressure. Pressure is created by resistance to flow. So the oil actually distributes itself over here. So every line splits into 2 pieces. One line will go here. One line of each of these will go into here. Into these beginning buffers, which can supply the... Which can supply these for, I think up to 8 minutes. The other pipe goes down and flows in this other buffer. Now these buffers make, this facility down here makes rubber. And this one up here, it makes plastic. So when they make plastic and rubber, it's going to generate that heavy oil residue that I was talking about. The heavy oil residue will then go and flow down this pipe into this big reservoir. And then, oh, that one's empty. What the hell? Better fix that one. But then the HOR will flow into these refineries to make the fuel. Now we have to pause and take a second. Now we have to move over to the water extractors. And the thing is, I was worried about, oh, I'm going to have to expand these. The good thing is that these are not overclocked, so I don't have to expand. I just have to overclock them. The water flows from here into these water towers, this water tower, and it has 3 large buffers. So it stores 4,800 cubic meters of water. Huh, I wonder why these are not full. It doesn't matter. As long as these are at least halfway filled, they're pretty nice. I would say, like, this is reasonably full, in my opinion. So the water then goes and it falls down through this system, where it goes to what's called a packer, which takes empty canisters. Now keep these empty canisters in mind. This gets complex. It then packages all the water up, sends it through this belt into the regulator down there, and then it comes out. Overclocks are permanent. Overclocks will last in the machine as long as the crystals are in. If I leave the crystal into if I leave the crystal in the machine, it's gonna overclock until I pull that crystal out. And yeah. So the waters, they go into here after they go to the regulator. And it seems backed up and inefficient, but I'll show you why that looks like that. The water then combines with the fuel into packaged fuel. The packaged fuel then comes out to these belts right here. By the way, I really like these because these look like cables. They look like server network cables. They then go up here, and that's where they the fuel then feeds through here, and then it actually comes out. No, I'm wrong. It feeds into here, comes out there. Now I'm going to show you what is going on in this facility. This is called the throughput regulation facility, or the throughput regulator. So just like those buffers work, these boxes have a little bit extra fuel inside of them. So at the end of the day, it actually fills this up and drains it at the exact same time. These aren't 100% needed, but it actually stabilizes the fuel. That way the system runs at 100% efficiency. This also makes sure that the system cannot clog, and it actually makes it easier for me to add and remove containers if it's clogged. So then the fuels canisters go out there, and we'll get back to these pipes in a minute. This is where the magic comes out. Then the fuel gets rerouted, and the system actually used to connect directly to here, but I spliced it in for the simplicity. So it goes up here, and it snakes onto that ceiling, and it goes up here. And I might make this a bit more beautiful over here, because this looks kind of hideous. And that's a temporary walkway, by the way. The fuel then kind of comes up here, and it goes here, in the top of what is called a trickle-down refinement system for this system. It is then neatly distributed into these unpackers, which takes the fuel and puts it into its liquid form, and then it produces canisters. And remember how I told you to remember those canisters? Well, those canisters are shipped down there. They're sent into that distributor plant that I just went into, and they come back out. And then these packages are actually reused over and over and over and over and over again. Also, that little train you can see, that train, everything is shut down because I'll show you why in a second. Trust me, you'll know why. That train right there is actually carrying in raw coal and sulfur from this facility. I could have actually built my facility here, but I found out that if I use that resource well, I can get up to 2,700 cubic meters of oil. I only process 1,800 though. That machine is going to carry sulfur and coal into this storage silo. After that, it will then carry the sulfur and coal up here, which you can see right here. It will then distribute itself into 48 assembler units and convert into coal. This compact coal, I should convert into compact coal. The fuel from the top flows into these machines down here. The fuel buffers. And by the way, I just want to say, in my opinion, put a buffer at the end of your system. I had the refinery I have right here is actually, it looked completely different a month ago. I had to tear it out because it was so bad. And one thing that made this refinery better than the other one was this one. These buffers at the end. So this supplies the fuel, and as you can see, there's coal from the top here, and it processes what's called turbo fuel. Now, the turbo fuel then snakes its way into more machines. So there's actually 80 refineries. And finally, all that work is paid off. The turbo fuel can now finally flow downwards, and it used to flow outward up over here, but it actually, I'll tell you what this here is in a second. So then it will flow through the wall, it'll flow into this facility, into the throughput monitoring. So all that oil gets turned into this. 1,500 cubic meters of turbo fuel every single minute. That's enough to power 50 gigawatts. More power than the state of Illinois consumes. $20 pumps, 20 coal gens. What I like to do is I have a basic manifold for pipes, but if you do a basic manifold, so as you can see, here's the input. So so I have a big buffer that then is checked. This is a valve, which means that the fuel can only flow this way, from here to here. It cannot go backwards. And it also has another check going in. So fuel can only go from the left to the right from my perspective. It cannot backflow. It then distributes itself into these refineries. And after it hits the end, it will then curl around into this. This right here will actually help your system out a lot. Make sure your buffers fill all the way. And I'm going to tell you this. When you're working with liquids, fill the freaking pipes. Because if you don't, you're going to get chugging. Make sure your water pipes of your coal generators are filled all of the way, especially if you're going uphill. Do not turn everything on at once. Like, for example, for this plant, you can't, like, right now everything's loaded, so it's ready to go if I turn everything on at once. But if everything's empty, you first have to start the oil pumps, wait for these to fill, start the plastic and rubber facilities, wait for that, all the HOR to back up, then start the water facility, wait for those to back up, and then start the fuel facility, and wait for this to start up, or wait for all the fuel to back up here, start the coal facility, wait for all the coal to back up, and then you can do the turbo fuel. Then all that turbo fuel is pumped through this tower, and it's distributed here. I'm going to tell you a very great tip with how to start fuel generators. Sorry if I talk fast, by the way. You can either do you can go in and turn every single one off. And then when you fill them, turn it on. But I actually have a better idea. You see, this little block of generators actually consumes 210 turbo fuel a minute. So why do I have Mark II pipes? Well, the reason, and by the way, why is it not working? You may ask. That one guy asked why it's not working. It's because these are filled. If I keep this system going and I don't burn the generators, it's going to back up, and if it backs up, it could ruin the system. It could ruin the system. Or it could lead to chugging. So what happens is that when if I were to open this valve, it supplies 600 cubic meters of turbo fuel a minute. It can only eat up 210 a minute. So it actually means that the pipe system gets filled faster than the turbo fuel can get consumed. So instead of turning off every single one of these facilities here, and then turning them back on, I just literally let it overflow, if you get what I mean, right? So I actually put in 390 cubic meters of turbo fuel flow per minute that cannot be consumed. So instead of having to turn all these individual generators on and off, one block can be powered and turned on and off by these simple valves. If I were to open this, this would turn these generators on, and it does stabilize. So run buffers to your generators, and then... Oh, unfortunately I didn't get the job. We're trying, though. Trying to look for internships. Oh no, I'm gonna get one. I'm going to get in there. Cause if you guys don't know anything about me, oh hey, there's an extra power crystal just showing up over here. If you guys don't know, I am extremely persistent. I don't care if my odds are stacked against me. I'm gonna try and over and over and over. I'm decorating my refinery now. But, I'm actually, by the way, I'm just gonna warn you guys, in case you guys get tired of seeing me build here, this is not the final form of this refinery. I'm not gonna lie, I'm expecting another revamp in the near future. And this near revamp will literally quintuple the power. No, not quintuple as in... Oh, quintuple from the original source. We're quintupling from this power output. So I'm starting to weigh my options between nitro turbo fuel. I do have to weigh my options. So here's the thing. I did some digging, and apparently, there's nitrogen nodules, and I have one of the best nodules really close to me. It provides up to 2,100 cubic meters of nitrogen a minute. Another thing is, apparently, if I produce rocket fuel, it's going to produce compact coal. And if I produce nitric acid, I need iron plates. I could actually easily take the water here. There's actually a little bit of iron over here. I could make a belt that transports that iron over, and I can actually use the compact coal for steel. Yeah, we will. And again, the reason why I'm going so slow, hear me out. I don't have the ability to make computers yet. I want to do that before I go on this thing. I also want to build the oscillators and all that stuff. Because here's the thing. Let's say, even if I do skip those, I'm going to come back to them. So it's not a matter of if I'm making those machines, it's a matter of when. And, well, I'm sorry if I keep saying this, but big machines need big power. As my professor says, I'm not here, I don't make the rules, I'm just here to pass the savings along to you. I have an idea, I might eat my lunch early, because I might go to get some coins, and I might get nauseous on my way there, because I don't know why I keep getting road sick after I eat my food. So I'm gonna probably leave at like 1. I might go eat here in a couple minutes. How do you like the windows? Like my little window framing idea. Instead of having like 2 lines and then 2 parallel lines like this, completely from top to bottom, I like starting it from the bottom and then having it run. Like I like how this connects here, but like there's no connection between here and here. Angry eyes. What? Are you saying I look like I have angry eyes? Yeah. Let me guess. You're saying I look mad. I get that all the time. I don't know why. I don't think I look mad. Oh my gosh. Huh, yeah, they kind of do. I like that actually. Let's see. I need about an hour to get from Champaign Lincoln. Hour to get there, so it's 2. It's 4 hours. So I should be. Actually, shit. I could get the Lincoln by 5. I need to get to Lincoln by 6. Please tell me there's a monocles there. I want pizza. There's gotta be one there. Well, there's one in Clinton. Man, I think Clinton was one of the areas. Clinton is. There's a wind farm there. I remember going there when I was gonna go visit Murfreesboro, because that's the site of the infamous March 18th, 1925 tri-state tornado, the deadliest in American history. Fun fact: Murfreesboro, Illinois, I think, in my opinion, holds the record for the most amount of people killed from a single tornado in a single day. In Murfreesboro, Illinois, more than 230 people were killed from the tri-state tornado. That's more people than were killed from Joplin. More people killed from the Joplin EF5, the Moore, Oklahoma, Bridge Creek EF5. All those tornadoes combined didn't even kill as many people as the amount of people that were killed in Murfreesboro. Back in the day, it was illegal to even mention the word tornado. They were scared of causing public panic. Tornadoes were almost even mythical. Some people even thought that they were not even real. And also, like tornadoes and stuff, it kind of was taboo back then. But on my way there, I actually saw a wind turbine. And I don't know what the hell happened to it, but the entire blade was ripped off. It is probably the only wind turbine failure, like major failure, I've ever seen. Of the thousands of turbines I've seen in my state, that's the only one I've ever seen severely fail like that. Probably a Vestas V what was it, a V like 120 or something? Older. Not relatively extremely old, but not extremely new. Modern age. And give me a second, I have pictures of it. Even when the wind techs came up, they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just wondering, what happened? The entire blade just came off. And when wind turbine blades completely disintegrate, they actually are fibery. It's really weird. I have a picture, and I'll show you that. Again, blade literally disconnected. It's really annoying when people cite when they see a wind turbine just like burn on fire, and they're like, "Oh, they're all a failure." Well, here's the thing: the reason why you see more wind turbines fail than coal plants, it's because wind turbines are A, they're in the open, you can see them fail, and B, there's simply a lot more of them. You need hundreds of wind turbines to equate to a coal plant, so when you have more of something, there's a good chance that it's going to fail due to sheer population. But the percentage of failure is relatively low. The reason you don't see coal plants or like nuclear plants fail that much is because there's one, not only are nuclear plants really safe, but two, there's not a lot of them. Like there's probably like no more than like 300 reactors in the world. Meanwhile, in the US alone, there's 70,000 wind turbines. So if you see a wind turbine fail, you're going to see one fail way more often. Plus, a nuclear reactor, it's enclosed. They're under 3 cubic. They're under 3 feet of concrete. I gotta find it. It is nuts, chat. June's May. Here it is. Look at this sucker. This poor Vestas. Woo! I have no idea how this would happen. Yeah, that is the worst failure I've ever seen off a turbine. And by the way, the thing was leaning. If you could see, my picture was taken level. It's really hard to see, but my picture was taken level. And the basket was leaning. You can't see it in this photo because I'll have it stabilized. But this dude was straight up leaning. But again, people will still point to that being like, oh my gosh, the whole industry is a failure. One unit failed. And this is me being honest with you. I have observed hundreds of wind turbines in my state. That is the only one to ever see a fail. The second place for the worst failure I've ever seen was a blade getting split, in the very tip of it was getting split in the middle. Honestly, in my opinion, it looks like from what it looks like, the two blades and the nacelle and hub can be salvaged. The tower and one blade will have to be completely scrapped and sent to the heap. But other than that, it looks pretty fine. Again, the cell still looks like it works. Hub still looks like it works. And you get two blades back. You're just going to have to throw away that one blade. And you know what the great thing about it is? Nobody got hurt. And that's what it comes down to. Nobody gets hurt. Let's see what it was. It is a Vestas V110 2 megawatt. So it's a little bit of an older model. I don't know if they even still make them, but they're not like ancient and outdated or anything. But they are a little bit starting to become old. And definitely outclassed by newer models. Let's see, if I leave at like 1 o'clock or 1:30. If I leave at 1:30, I can get to my school. Actually, no, I don't want to leave by 1:30. I want to leave by 1, which gives me about an hour and 20. You know what, guys? I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go eat my lunch now. That way, if I have any stomach issues, I get them over with before I drive. Oh, gotta go B. Oh, yeah, I gotta go. I'm going to go too, but I'm going to come back if you want to come back. But thanks for joining by. If you need any help, come by. I'll help you. I'm going to go eat my lunch. That way, if I have any, like, stomach aches, I'm going to get them over with at home and not on the road. Well, by the way, quick tip, always check the times of when you leave before you quit the game. Oh, damn. Okay, yeah. Have a nice one. Have a nice night, man.